Rivian stock has surged 4% today. We see stock continue on this nice uptrend after breaking out of this resistance marker. We do see a little bit of selling pressure here, guys, but we do have some very nice fundamentals today, with Rivian announcing Apple Car Key integration for its vehicles and renewed optimism around strong demand for its upcoming R2 SUV. Also, heavy trading volume and high short interest also amplified this movement, leading to a solid day of price action following a very nice day here. So we do see stock in a very volatile position right now. We can see today volume has spiked the most it has spiked in a very long time, leading to that amplified volatile move to the upside. Now, should we be expecting a continued movement to that 1715 zone where we found the top there, leading to a descending notion, or the seller is going to step in given all this selling pressure here? All right, guys, starting this analysis all in the weekly time frame, we see that over some time we've gotten in this very long resistance type of zone, almost like a descending triangle pattern. After getting beat up, right, if we look on the monthly real quick, we IPO'd, hit that 179.47 level, and we do see that buyers didn't have an answer for a long time until we caught a little bit of buyer momentum here, but we do still flush downwards, find an obvious resistance, and then we flush downwards to the floor. And so you can see prices building up a bit of energy, right? On the weekly time frame, we are very volatile to the ceiling, to the floor, back and forth going on until we're getting tighter, 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 tighter. We don't end up getting extremely tight, but we kind of break out of this range, and it leads us to a tighter fashion, using that resistance in the past as a support level. And now recently we've broken out of this newfound resistance, trying to find that test of that 1505 and ultimately over that 1715, that level giving us some trouble right here, as well as a very close marker right here. So we have had a bit of trouble getting over that level. We see once we get over it right here, we reject quickly down to the floor, but we do enter a bit of an ascending profile, right? That being a higher low of formations. And right now we are ascending, guys. We've broken out of a pretty major resistance. Now we've won another battle with this newer resistance. So looking pretty good here for Rivian, guys. You want to see price continue in this nice volatile manner to the upside, breaking through that 1505, then breaking through that 1715, where that would be a pretty solid resistance zone to get over, giving the buyers more momentum to the upside in the long-term picture. All right, guys, on the daily, we see a better point of view of what stock was doing. So we got out of this long-term resistance, not a ton holding us up. And most recently, we see a double rejection leading to a further move to the downside. But next time we test it, we see a little bit of trouble right here, smaller pullback, and then a nice move to the upside. And so that 1715 does hold up as harsh resistance, and that leads us to another descending range. But instead of a sharp descending range, we start using that past resistance, that past very stubborn resistance, as support. And then we do see that this was a dragged out zone. We're kind of in between these levels for a bit of time, but nice to see that we're using a very stubborn resistance as some very solid support now, guys. Holding up numerous of times, right? We're holding up once here very strongly, twice here, 3 times here as the sellers try to make their move lower and below this range, back within this overall range has been giving us a tough time. But then buyers come through with an answer, bringing us back above that, using that as support once more, trending to the ceiling of that resistance with a very nice green wide bar. We are seeing some tighter price action, and then we see an obvious shift in momentum. Green wide bar showing that the buyers were in that ultimate control. There wasn't much back and forth, and it rips us right above that resistance. So buyers step in right when they have to step in. Very powerful move there, breaking this resistance level. And then we continue to the upside, a little bit of back and forth, right? A lot of selling pressure. There's a lot of buying pressure, but we still trend up from that very nice movement. Nice price action, guys, over the last week and a half. We do see around an 18% movement to the upside, 17, 18%, breaking a pretty important resistance level as we were kind of messing around in here for some time. So for the buyers, what you want to see is a continuation up. You know, we're very volatile right now. Volume is spiking, so you want to see price continue to try to trend higher, break through that 1505, that giving us a little bit of trouble in the past as a resistance. And then from there, it would be pretty clear to that 1715, where you look for a test of that. Would not be surprising at all to see some resistance there, right? Might be a smaller pullback, but then hold higher, start using these levels as support, and then trend back up to that zone, breaking through that once and for all. Our short-term price target right now is that 1715 to get over, medium-term 20. I think this has some pretty good room to run, guys, especially with the good fundamentals coming in. And buyers now really picking up that steam, volume coming in, lots of buying pressure surging in with the stock, as well as good technicals, right? Breaking through that long-term resistance, using that as very strong support. Now breaking through this resistance level here. Do have a lot of nice things going on for Rivian. So as long as volume can keep surging in, we can keep winning these battles, and we could use these past resistances as support, like we see right here. You know, very reactive stock. Once it gets to these zones, it bounces, right? So very reactive stock, doing exactly what you want to see as a buyer. Watch for that continuation up. If we do see continued selling pressure there, watch for that pullback, and instead of coming back down to this support, watch for this past resistance here to now hold up as support and trend higher, as this being very reactive to the technicals. But I don't think we see that here. I think that we're trending in a very nice fashion. We've broken out, we've stayed strong, not a ton of seller presence within this move at all. So my guess is we continue in this kind of volatile movement, break that 15, trend up to that 17.15. Could be a little bit of selling pressure during this movement, but I do think that we find that 17.15 before seeing a possible real pullback. But then again, you could be seeing a little bit of chopping going around before getting that next leg up. Not saying we have to trend up right now. Give it a few weeks, guys. I think we look very nice here for that 17.15. All right, guys, on the hourly, we see a very nice break of structure. So like nice green wide bar, continuation up, breaking that resistance. Come back down a little bit, but we do not hit that resistance level, and we trend upwards in a stair-step-like fashion, right? Nice move up, chop around, nice move up, chop around. Huge move up, right? Hitting that $15 level, and we see a smaller pullback so far. So as long as we can keep getting these smaller pullbacks with these nice moves to the upside, pretty self-explanatory here, guys. Very nice price action, right? You want to see stock trend in an overall uptrend. If we see a little bit of a pullback, nothing to worry about. Watch these certain micro resistances to hold up as support. Right here, we see an obvious one at that 1365, as well as right here, that 1391. So even if we get a little bit of a pullback, which is, pretty expected as we're hitting a zone that is an obvious resistance, watch for that to hold up there, trend back up, tap that 1505, break through that, and then we'd be headed to that $17 level. So yeah, like what I'm seeing here, guys, I think RIVN is in a very nice spot. After being beat up for a bit of time right back on the weekly, very beat up overall, I think we are really finding that buyer dominance and buyer pressure that we've been kind of missing out on for a bit of time. See that volume is picking up. We get those monster spikes like we saw in the past here. Looking very nice for a continued break of structure, with the long-term price target on the channel being that $28 level, that being the top of this structure right here. So be patient with this, guys. We are looking nice here, but always keep in mind that we could be seeing, a little bit of back and forth while we trend up to that 17. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your price predictions for RIVN in the comments below. If you guys want to see more RIVN content, make sure to like and subscribe. As always, guys, trade smart. I will see you all in the next one.